We've known for a long time that traditional sales training just does not work. And that's why we've developed the sales shift model, so we can start to understand what are the components we need to unlock if we're going to truly shift the performance of our salespeople and actually the performance of our whole sales organisation. So the core of the sales shift model sits around these 4 blocks. You'll see in there is a box that says sales skill set, which is very much where sales training lives. And there is a need to be trained and to be taught the skills for selling, because selling isn't an innate thing that you're born with. It isn't a personality trait. It is something that we learn and develop like any other skill. There's definitely a science around selling. But what we need to add to that are some other things, which first of all include the notion of sales tools. Do we have the right tools identified and deployed in the field with our people with the right skills to achieve what they need to achieve? But really what's much more important than that is what sits on the other side of this box, the sales mindset and the sales culture / behaviours. So selling is a really, really tough game. It requires sometimes the ability to be able to fail and bounce back and be resilient, and it requires huge amounts of self-belief. So being able to tap into the mindset of a salesperson, help people build the right tools for having the right mindset, the right growth mindset, the right positive mindset, the ability not to be self-sabotaging are really, really critical things that salespeople need to learn and embrace, and almost be a bit of a junior psychologist in great salespeople that we see. Alongside that then is the need to have the right sales culture. Now at the individual level, that will very much sit around the behaviours, and are they demonstrating the right behaviours and habits they need to display day to day to do what they need to do. But we also as leaders need to think about the wider sales culture, because still too often sales departments exist very separately from the rest of the organisation and have separate cultures. And in the modern world of particularly B2B selling, that just doesn't work anymore. Selling's much more of a team game now. And so, as the culture that we have as an organisation and within the sales team, is it congruent to actually developing sales, or actually is it holding it back? So when we look at that, we talk about 2 sides. We talk about the skills and the tools being very much the mechanics of selling, but the left side is very much the dynamics, which is a much softer side of things, which is probably why many people don't try to address it. But we know that if not all 4 of those boxes are ticked, very, very difficult to unlock and shift sales to that next level. The other part of the model though is really important as well, because it's really important from a leadership perspective to really have some sense of what our process is around the selling that we do. And in fact, when we go into organisations, we find the biggest problems not being with salespeople, actually with the sales leadership. Sales leaders are very often really good people, well-meaning, but they're often just great salespeople that have been promoted through performance. But being a sales leader is very different to being a salesperson. So, does your organisation have a process? Many organisations don't. If you do have a process, is it actually any good at achieving the ability to have a very, very clear roadmap and to know that you're advancing towards sales success? And the other thing to really think about here as well is that sales process is the key to unlocking really good sales forecasting. That visibility of what's happening beyond just the traditional pipeline thinking can really help us understand what our sales forecasting will look like, which obviously is really critical for business planning. And staying on that leadership piece, the last part of the model that really locks this in is we really need to make sure that everything that we do is linked in with our strategic plan and roadmap. So we talk about strategic integration because sales strategy really isn't really a thing. What sales job is to do is really to deploy and implement the strategy of the business and the go-to-market strategy that sits alongside that. So sales strategy really is a deployment and a tactical job. So it's about integrating that in with the company strategy so it's going in the right direction, targeting the right clients in the right markets in the right way to succeed. And it's about taking the marketing messaging of disturbing and engaging the market and actually contextualize that at individual customer level so that they want to buy from us. And then the final piece then is just to ensure that we are leading sales. Do we have leaders that are leading the sales effort, that are coaching the individuals? Because salespeople, like sports people, need coaching and refining because of the nature of their role. And are we being leaders and not just super salesmen that are just trying to lead and blaze a trail by example? So that's the sales shift model. Hopefully that gives you a few clues as to where you need to really look to really shift the whole sales performance of the individuals and of the team, and good luck.